I want to start by being honest with you. I've been the main character in every single one of these stories, so I'm not here to judge anyone. I'm here to warn you, because I ignored almost every sign on this list at least once, and trust me, I paid for it in ways I'm still emotionally unpacking. If you enjoy psychology and relationship insights like this, make sure you hit subscribe, because the goal here is to help you avoid mistakes many of us learn the hard way.
Think of this video as the guide I desperately needed, but nobody gave me. Here are 7 signs she might be a red flag. And I say this with love. If you notice these early, it might be time to run. Sign 1. She's never wrong. Ever. I once dated someone who apparently had never made a single mistake in her entire life. Truly impressive. According to her, every bad thing that had ever happened was someone else's fault. Her ex was crazy, her boss was jealous, her friends were fake. Psychologists call this an external locus of control, which basically means someone struggles to take responsibility for their own actions. I call it a 5-alarm fire with a charming smile. If everyone in her life is always the problem, eventually you have to do the math, because sooner or later, you're going to be the next person blamed in that story. Sign 2. She's always testing you. One of my favorite moments in past relationships was finding out later that something was a test. Oh, that was a test? Fantastic. The silent treatment to see if you'll chase her. The classic "I'm fine," which is very clearly not fine. Canceling plans just to see if you'll fight for them. Psychologists link this behavior to anxious attachment patterns. But from real-life experience, here's the truth. Relationships built on constant tests are exhausting. Instead of building something real together, you're just stuck passing exams that you never agreed to take. Sign 3. Her ex is still a main character. Pay attention to how often her ex comes up in conversation. Not once in a normal story, that's fine. I mean constantly. My ex used to do this. My ex would never do that. This reminds me of my ex. At some point you're thinking, I'm literally sitting right here. Psychologists call this unresolved attachment. In simple terms, the last relationship hasn't emotionally ended yet. And if that emotional door is still open, there's a good chance you're about to become the rebound with a slightly longer contract. Sign 4. She thrives on chaos. Some people are drawn to drama the way I'm drawn to free food, instantly and without thinking. I used to mistake this for passion or emotional depth, but there's a difference between intensity and constant chaos. Suddenly, every small issue becomes a huge conflict. Every group chat argument becomes personal. Every inconvenience turns into a full-scale emotional event. Psychologists link this to high neuroticism, a personality trait connected to emotional instability and stress sensitivity. In everyday life, it just means your peaceful Sunday is probably never going to stay peaceful for long. Sign 5. You're always the one apologizing. Let me describe a strange situation that happens in these dynamics. She does something wrong, you react to it, and somehow, through some kind of emotional physics I still don't fully understand, you end up apologizing by the end of the conversation, every single time. Psychologists actually have a term for this, DARVO, which stands for deny, attack, and reverse victim and offender. Basically, the person who caused the problem somehow becomes the victim. If you genuinely can't remember the last time she sincerely apologized, that's not random. That's important information. Sign 6. Your friends make that face when you mention her. You know the face. The slight pause, the careful smile, the, yeah, she seems nice.
I ignored that face multiple times across different relationships, and every time the people who cared about me were trying to tell me something without directly saying it. Your friends usually have nothing to gain from lying to you. If the people who know you best all react the same way when you talk about her, it might be worth paying attention to that signal.
Sign 7. Your gut has been trying to warn you.
I saved the most important one for last. Deep down, your gut usually knows something is off. Mine always did. But I kept overriding that feeling with thoughts like, maybe she's different, or things will get better, or I can fix this. But relationships aren't renovation projects. Psychologists refer to this internal signal as interoceptive awareness, which is your brain's ability to detect subtle signs of safety or danger. Your body often notices problems long before your emotions are willing to accept them.
The final truth is this. Red flags usually aren't hidden. They're just wrapped in qualities we find attractive. The key is learning to recognize the patterns early, trusting your instincts, and sometimes even listening to the quiet signals from the people around you.
And if you enjoy content that breaks down psychology, attraction, and relationship dynamics, don't forget to subscribe because we're just getting started.